A pleasure to have you join us today on the program Healthy Living. I'm Adesuwa Osa. Today we want to look at obesity in children. It is a health problem in case you don't know. And is diet the way out? Because some parents are beginning to put their kids on some diet. Even this diet you're putting your kids on, this diet program, is it effective? Is it medically okay for that child? How are you so sure that you're not even causing more damage to that child? So obesity is one of the biggest health problems in the world today as we speak. So it's not a Nigerian thing. And research have shown that some parents are the cause of childhood obesity. Take it or leave it. But some parents are the cause of childhood obesity in children. And obesity is associated with several related problems collectively known as metabolic syndrome, which includes high blood pressure, elevated sugar, poor blood lipid profile in children. You'll be amazed that children could suffer high blood pressure and elevated sugar. So I want to bring this to you today so that you would know how to, help your child grow in a healthy manner. It's not every food that your child should eat. And what quantity should that child eat? What is the appropriate breakfast for a child who is obese? These and many more we're going to be looking at today on the program. So we have a clinical dietitian with us today. Is Mr. Gbenga Oladipo. Happy to have you on the program.
Thank you, Ma. I'm happy to be here again.
Okay, so looking at obesity in children, could you please explain further?
Different people have different perception about obesity. Some people say, oh, obesity just like, okay, when my body have, unhealthy weight. There's some people say, okay, when my child is actually bigger than the normal. Because there are some children around about that probably were born the same time.
Yes,
so
but
they're trying to look at,
bigger.
okay, yeah, some are bigger and everything. But it's actually beyond that. So as a mother or parent, people go to clinic maybe after birth, they're trying to check the growth of that particular child, and then the health professionals, they were trying to explain this to them that, okay, when your child is at this particular age, this should be the normal weight and the height. They told them, but people don't really take it serious. They say, okay, what about, wait, I want my child to look so healthy. I want people to know that we have money in my family, so let me do everything for my child to make him or her, look healthy and then probably bigger than the other. So, but they don't know the implication that behind this thing. Okay. So, as I said, we used to tell people that when someone BMI, body mass index, is abnormal, is a kind of primary factors for all those non-communicable diseases to come in, even though in adults, in children. So we have it that way. But people don't take a kind of serious matter that, okay, this thing could even affect my child. And it can actually destroy everything about the child. I told some people sometimes ago that there's one particular study that we did. We took 5 children from different locations. Okay. So we like Ghana, then we from South Africa, and then from even though the UK and then US. They bring all of them. They actually brought all of them together, and then they isolated them in one particular place. So what they do? They trying to feed them the same food, African food, the same food, the same recipe, the same preparation, the same quantity. So they were just feeding them. So then they were growing. They were growing at age of 5. Do you believe that all of them grow the same way? Okay. It means that from age 0 to age 5, that whatever you give to a child, make them grow the same way. But after 5 years old, the genetic factor take over. Okay. What does that mean? 5 years. After 5 years, what does that mean? It means that if that child would be big, then from 5 years old going to be. If that child will tall, it becomes tall from 5 years old. Wow. So that's just the study. It means that everything you give to your child from 0 to 5 years of age determine what he or she is going to be, how she or she is going to look like. If there's any complication, it's irreversible.
Okay, now let's look at causes of obesity in children. What are the causes of obesity in children? I just mentioned one that from a research, they said it's parents factor.
Yes, you know, majorly, after so many dialoguing, discussion, and every research and everything, they actually shifted the blame to parents. I'm telling you, they said, why? Because of lack of activities. I want my child to be this, to be this. Then you take them away from activities. They don't do anything. Eating 24 hours. They're just eating food, different kind of food. Refined food, saturated food. They're just taking everything. And you don't know that you are
refined and saturated food is a problem for
It's
children.
a problem for them when they're actually less active. They're not doing anything. They're just be sedentary there. So these are the major things, that major problem that we're having. But people don't take a kind of mind that, okay, this thing could cause issue in my child. This thing could cause issue in my children. But they just feel it because they want people to know that I can do anything to make my children or to make my child so grow and help know that, okay, this family, they are wealthy. So it is a problem today. It's a serious problem.
Now let's look at helping our children who have obesity. How do we help children with obesity?
Yes, I just mentioned something now. When you asked me about the causes,
yes,
I said something about activities. It means that whatever we are giving them, they should have a way of using that food. They should have the way of using. If they don't create it themselves, after leaving the school, they are coming back home. They should have a kind of work for them at home too. They do. So the way we do it is, in fact, there are some parents that they come, there are some families that they come to us. We are trying to make a menu plan for them, and the activity actually included, because we make that menu in such a way that as your children eat it, we calculate what the quantity or what the level of activity that this child will do, that we make that food or whatever energy that person consumes to be burning off. That is exactly what we are doing now. And then we have already created the kind of menu. In fact, there's one particular family that came to me, and then I was trying to tell them that, okay, she was so worried that, okay, look at my child, is too big. What do I do? I said, very simple. If you can be disciplined enough to take care of this child, you have to monitor the way he grows. And say, how? And I just trying to plan a menu for her, and then she just went with that menu, and it was following. In fact, the food that child is taking, or he was taking then, actually make sure that the amount of food given to him equate the activity level that child is involved in. It means that the input is equal to output. So it helps them. They grow normal. They don't have problem. That's why you see them today, they down tomorrow. Because even though when you see a child that's very, very obese, it's actually affecting insulin to do normal work. So as they are eating, this is just panning up there. Because they are just sitting down, they are just probably, watching television, pressing phone, pressing game and everything. Because the parents want people to know that there's money in this house. There's everything in this house. I must make sure people see my children that, okay, they said they are healthy, but they are not healthy. That's not the way of healthy. At every stage of life, there's a weight equate, in relation to the height of that child. Before you can say, okay, because you cannot just say nada, this is the height of my child. This what should be the weight. And then you not generalize it that everybody must have the same weight and the same height, because genetically they are different. So if you have a child that probably a kind of 2 inches, or you have child that kind of 2 feet, and then about maybe 2 feet, 3 inches or whatever, and then you were trying to calculate what would be the weight of that child. So it is calculable, but the same age of a particular, maybe the group of child, the same age, but they don't have the same height. So you can't expect that all of them will have the same weight. No, it's not possible. But as you are in your family, you know that this is how my child look like. So you can come to people that really know about diet, that know about nutrition, and plan the menu for the whole family. As you are feeding them, then okay, this the amount of food that he should eat, this amount of food that we should eat.
But unfortunately, the dietitian is the last person a lot of us want to go and visit, because we believe that we have good food already. Now, there are some parents that are beginning to place their children on a diet. Like I was discussing with a woman the other day, and she said, without consulting the doctor or the dietitian, she have this belief that the son may be diabetic because of the frequent urination, and then he thirsts a lot, he eats a lot. She was just saying everything she got from Google, you know, and then she now decided to place the child on a diet. I'm particularly worried because she is not a medical professional. She has not been to a medical professional to ask questions or to present her case before any one of them. And she's doing self-medication, placing a child's health in her hands, thereby, you know, putting that child on danger list, so to speak, because now she may not give the child like what she does, she gives him tea bags without mentioning the actual name of the product, but it's a tea bag. That's what she gives him in the morning without cream or sugar. She just dip the tea bag in water. After a while she said, okay, this is your breakfast with a slice of bread. And I said, this is punishment because the guy is not getting all the nutrients he should get. Then in the afternoon, she does not give him lunch to school. Okay, he comes back home to take his lunch, and then she described how she feels him, and then also dinner. I was like, don't you think you want to kill that child?
Yes.
So, a child who is obese, who's on a diet, so to speak, what kind of diet should that child be on? Not what my friend is doing.
Let me quickly tell the parent at home.
Please do.
Now, this particular child is still growing. It's still growing, right?
Okay.
Yes,
it's still growing.
It's still growing, right?
Maybe 9, 10.
When someone is a child, that child is still growing.
Maybe, yes.
And then we have nutrition in life cycle. What does that mean? It means that every stage of life have a particular nutrient or particular nutrition or particular calorie, you know, go with that stage of life. And then we have every recommendation, dietary recommendation for each particular stage of life. Okay. So what does that mean? It means that a child of 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, they have a particular form of food, or the content of particular food they must take that will make them grow properly. Yes. Because this is the stage of window of opportunity where they are still growing. The brain is developing, the body organs they are developing. They are not becoming, you know, they are very close to adults now. You know, like that puberty stage. So these child, they are growing now. Very soon they will become like, okay, something is coming out of me now. I'm not becoming, you know, responsible person, because the active level at that particular stage is increasing every day. The more their active level is increasing, the more they need more energy to do whatever activity they are doing. Okay. Because they want to be independent now. If the parent actually asks them to go and do this, they listen before they do it. Can I do this, mommy? Why you ask me to do this? Now they are developing, they are learning everything around them. They are taking concern of everything because they want to be independent. So now, when you not take that child on your own, you said, okay, because this child is, you know, have more weight, like is a little bit fatter now, a little bit actually add weight now. I want to bring the child myself. You can't do that because you don't know the right combination. You don't know the right food, right to combine together that will give exact nutrient that child needs. You are just trying to do your own. And let me tell you, if that child is not taking enough nutrient that he ought to take, there's danger in future. It will not learn the way others are learning in class. You will not even remember things the way you should remember, because then at that particular stage now, every part of that child is developing, and you are just trying to bring the developmental stage. You are just trying to, you know, bring it down or slow it down. It will affect that child in future. When you see that, okay, maybe about 10 children, they are together, and then they give them the kind of test to do, and then you notice that your child actually becomes last. So it comes when you start beating him. So it's your fault. Why are you beating him? Why are you beating him? A lot of food to combine together to make sure their nutrient, there's essential nutrient they need at that stage. You cannot stand away from it. They have to have it, they have to take it, and they have to grow in the way they have to grow. So you can't place them on diet yourself.
Talking about nutrient, I don't think most children are getting enough of that.
It's a problem in our society today.
We'll come back to that in a moment. While you were talking, you talk about children, when they're obese and they're not checked, they may come down with diabetics. They may not have what it takes to produce enough insulin to take care of them. Please talk to us about that
Yes.
one, because most parents don't even know when their children are diabetic.
Yes, yes, of course. Yes, of course. If you see a child that eats too much without using that food, because the reason why we are eating food is to energize
To use
us,
it, okay.
to help us to do whatever we want to do, or actively around us. Now, a child with obesity is actually vulnerable to develop. You just mentioned something. You said hypertension, you made mention of diabetes, you made mention of a lot of things, you made a lot of hyperlipidemia.
Yes.
Yes, it's common. Why? Because everything just accumulated, because now you are taking them to eatery,
Yes.
you buy ice cream for them, you buy Coke for them, without even doing anything. They are just there. You are using housemaid to do whatever work you want to do at home. You think probably you are polishing that housemaid. Housemaid have never visited the hospital, but you are taking your children to the hospital.
Okay.
Do you understand? That kind of mentality.
Sedentary life is
Do you
not good
understand
for
now?
children.
They are just eating everything. They are just eating everything. They are just eating everything. You don't know the gauge. You don't know how to combine things. You don't know the calorie that actually meant for each one of them. But you are doing it as if, okay, you have all the money, you have all the resources to buy things for them.
Buy all those things.
No, you are killing them gradually. That when they come up with diabetes, in fact, type 2 diabetes, in fact, there's something surprising that we are actually facing these days. Before, we were thinking diabetes is elderly sickness, that people that retire or something. Children are coming up with it now, increasing every day. Why? Some people actually think it's probably one old woman from the village that is doing the family. The child is bedwetting and frequent urination. You think, oh, one old woman in my village is doing this child. Something is wrong somewhere. No, something is wrong somewhere. You are the one. You give everything. This child is not doing anything. Look at him sitting after coming back to school, sitting down there. That's
doing nothing.
Doing nothing, and he's eating everything. So a child with obesity can come up. It's possible. In fact, he has about 3 times chances to have diabetes, to have hypertension, and to even develop heart problem. It happens. So what we are trying to do is the combination of food. They will eat everything they want to eat, but you combine that food in the right way. All the nutrients, all the essential nutrients they need to take, you make sure it's there in their food. Okay, their immune system is major thing that you need to take care of.
We'll come back to all those things that they need to take to make them healthy. Now, there's something I want to ask you. Is there anything like baby fat? You know, when you see some children who are obese, as parents, we are quick to say, oh, it's baby fat. When they grow up, they will lose the fat. Is there anything like that?
I want you to look around your environment.
Okay.
Those children that actually, like initially, they tend to a little bit
big.
Is it actually so easy like that for them to get rid of that weight when they are growing? If the pattern they were eating, they still continue eating that way, is it possible? Have you seen it?
I don't think so.
Do you get?
I don't think so.
Do you get? If the pattern, if the habit, if the lifestyle is not changing, let me tell you, they know you can't control that weight. The pattern of eating have to change. The preparation have to change. The combination have to change. You need to watch those things. You can't just come, okay, he's a child,
But you know that children, they like food that are quite exciting.
Yes.
Food that are usually fried things,
yes.
like chips, noodles, all of those. They like it a lot. But if we take those things away from them, exactly what are the kids going to eat?
You are not taking it away.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. When you say menu table, they are taking those things, but they have the time they are taking it.
Okay.
Maybe like, okay, let's assume that they actually take bread in the morning. Bread, stew, and tea in the morning. Now,
before you go, what kind of tea should the child take? Is it cocoa drink or tea bag?
You can't give them those that are probably highly caffeinated too.
Okay.
You have to be careful of what you give them.
It has to be cocoa drink.
Yes. If you go those companies that produce milk, they have baby milk.
Okay.
They're producing.
Okay.
Because they are organized, it actually have the way they describe it.
Yes.
The milk they will take that will go freely with them. You look for that. I don't want to make an apartment of any company
no,
now.
Please
but
don't.
I'm just trying to mark for what I say here.
Yes.
So it's necessary to look for things that are meant for children. not adulthood.
Okay.
You get, that's why education comes in. And what you are doing now is actually educating people at home. They know that, okay, if I want to combine things for my children, how will I combine it? How will I do it? How will I present it to them? Like we just made mention of something that the children, they like something that beautiful.
Yeah,
they have something that
something nice.
Yes, of course.
Something fast.
Can't you
easy.
see when you present a food to a child, and then that food is colorful? Don't you think how attractive that food will be? Yes, of course. You can make it a very healthy food, make it attractive.
Okay.
Cook in a very nice way. Because they have the menu table now, what you need to do in your family, when you have that menu table, you have trained those children. When they grow, they will not depart from that path. They are following it.
So every family should have a
it's
menu
important.
table.
That's what people, well-educated people, I'm not talking about the family that they don't have time for the children that another person cook for them. There's every family that they are actually cater for the health of their family. They know that health, if they have health challenges, can take away the material or the resources or the wealth they have. So they actually being particular about the health of that family. So they have menu table. They say, okay, this is what we are eating Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. And then those children key into it.
Okay.
If the time comes, okay, mommy, this is what we are eating today, even though they started preparing themselves, you engage them in activity in the house.
That's interesting.
So that's what's happening now.
Okay, now let's look at the issue of addiction, because when you were talking, you mentioned addiction, you mentioned junk food, you mentioned genetics, and now are there some medications that will make a child add weight?
What is there a problem for that child?
No,
So what's the medication?
There are some children who are on medications.
Yes, what's the medication? So medication does not actually contribute. If that medication actually trigger hunger, in some cases, trigger hungers, there's some food that you can give that will not even allow your child to have weight, but just for fullness.
Okay.
So I'm just giving this food for my child to be full,
not
for fat or
nutrients.
cholesterol being accumulated or something.
Okay.
Lot of food. That's what parents need to go out and learn about it, not what they read on Google, not what they search for online. They need to be properly educated.
But I'm particularly worried again, because now you are advising parents to be educated on how to make food for their children so that the children will be healthy. A lot of us work. A lot of parents, some parents don't even see their kids until weekend.
That's the problem.
Because some persons would have shipped their children to one grandma,
Yes.
one grandaunt and all of that, because whether we would like it or not, parents have to make ends meet. There are bills to be paid,
Yes.
okay? And so maybe these parents will not see the child until weekend. How is that parent supposed to plan a menu for the child? And other times, even when the parents are around, the parents is rushing to work in the morning, what's the quickest thing to make for breakfast? You just throw 1, 2, 3 things, you're done. They are back from work. What's the quickest thing to make for lunch? Of course, noodles.
Yes.
Every household is hooked on noodles. Okay, oh, noodles is the quickest thing. Oh, maybe pasta. You know, quickly you're doing all of that. You're training for the children, dinner, you know, other kind of thing. We're always in a hurry. It's like 24 hours is not enough for a parent. So what is that parent supposed to do?
It's not, I made mention of something now.
Yes.
I said when you involve your children in some home work,
Yes.
it relieves you. What does it actually mean? Let's assume that you have a grown one among them. They're probably at the age of 12 and 13 years old among them.
That's a young adult already.
Just now. As soon as you train that one, when he or she was growing up, ready actually emulate, or you're trying to like key into what the mother used to do at home.
Okay.
That is it's time for me to cook for my young
So we
ones.
should not rely on maids.
Do you understand? It's the time for me to cook for my young ones.
Okay.
And then as that one we train the young ones too. But in a situation whereby like you just have to make them highly sedentary, they are not doing anything. It's just like, okay, housemaid. It will tell on them. We slowly tell on them.
So how do we cure a child of addiction? Because there are some children who are addicted to some particular food, and there's nothing the parents can do, so to speak.
Yes.
How do we cure a child of addiction, food addiction? Okay, before you answer, let me quickly roll out our number. I know that quite a number of persons would like to call. If you want to call into this program, please use the number 052-290-573. The number will be there permanently until the end of this program. It will be there on your screen. So call in to ask a question. If you have a child who is obese, if you're having difficulty in finding the right food for your children that will give them the right amount of nutrients, how to calculate those nutrients now, I don't know. Hopefully Benga is going to tell us that today. So just call in 052-290573. It's nothing to be ashamed about, okay? So just call in and let's roll together.
Yeah, you.
All right, so addiction.
Yeah, you asked something. That addiction is very simple as I'll give you. That menu table will solve the problem. Why? Because nobody will change anything in this house. This is the food we are eating in the morning. This food we are eating in the afternoon. This food we are eating in the evening.
That would be authoritarian.
It's not authoritarian. It's a principle. Lay that principle in the house. This is what we are taking because you want them to be healthy. You want them to be well. You don't want to work and spend all your money on sickness. Doesn't make any sense. The menu table solve the problem.
Okay, is it possible to have a child that will be obese right from the beginning? Maybe perhaps because something went wrong somewhere also, because I've seen quite a number of children like that.
Yes. You see, maternal nutrition.
Okay.
When you say, okay, that child, that fetus, and the maternal nutrition, the mother and the child nutrition.
Okay.
What that woman takes is affect the child.
Really?
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay. That means when a woman is pregnant,
yes, of course.
Whatever she eats, affect
the child.
Oh my word.
That's why you have a lot of problem today. Diabetes that have to do with pregnancy.
Okay.
So we have a lot of gestational diabetes everywhere because of what that woman is taking when she was pregnant.
Okay.
Because I want my baby to be very big.
Okay.
I want my baby to look so fine.
Okay.
I want my baby to be this.
Let's take this call. Hello, caller. Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Hello. Okay, 0522905. Hello? Yes, good afternoon. I'm Adesua. What's your name? Good afternoon.
Okay, the dietitian just mentioned a thing saying when a woman is pregnant, it can actually affect the baby.
Yeah.
And during the obesity something. But in mine, you know that pregnant women sometimes they like eating things that are not even normal.
Okay.
Sometimes when they even cook, they won't be able to eat it.
Okay.
They like eating abnormal things. And for me, my children, when I give birth to them, they always so fast.
Okay.
The time comes to just slow down and they eat a lot. So is there a way for them to cut it down? Because they say sometimes when you don't eat what you're craving for, your child may eat hair, stomach, all those stuff. So I don't know how we are going to come about the pregnant woman.
Okay. So you go. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So, pregnant women and cravings. You just mentioned something like that. When a woman is pregnant, sometimes the kind of food we eat is abnormal.
Yes.
There are some things you can see. You know, we eat quite some kind of that things you crave for.
Yeah. Do you understand?
I've seen somebody who craves for soaked gari and rice together. You know.
Do you understand now?
So how do we help pregnant women so that?
Yes, of course. Even though some pregnant women, when they come to the hospital, they're trying to check the weight. If they monitor their weight too, if their weight is alarming, they try to call the attention of the dietitian. Okay, go and see the dietitian and let them try to to plan the menu for you so you follow it. It's a vet. No matter what you take, determine the outcome of that child. So what we are trying to do now, the preparation of your food, you must, because when you are pregnant, the calorie required is double.
Okay.
We are trying to calculate because as you are eating, that child is eating too.
The child is eating.
Do you understand now? So we are trying to calculate which food is actually good for this woman that will not affect
the baby.
The baby, even when she is about to to deliver, because some people have difficulty, and even though diabetes is another problem they have, as they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, as that baby is getting bigger too, they are bigger. They are getting bigger too.
Okay.
So the combination of that food, majorly, they give them everything to eat, but in pregnancy, the carbohydrate and refined food need to be highly calculated, so that it will not affect the growth of that child, even though some complications that are actually attached to pregnancy.
Okay, she also mentioned that when she gives birth, the babies are usually very big, but you know, as time goes by, they come back to normal weight.
Because she was being careful.
Okay.
If she was being careful, because she already probably she aware, she kind of educated, people have already told her that this is the danger. But immediately she gave birth, she's trying to watch those children and trying to give them, she just mentioned the local prepare way how to prepare food now. She was talking about crayfish and some other things there. Because, yes, some people like that.
Okay, let's quickly do this one now. Hello, caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, Pastor Donatus. I'm calling from Ego.
Okay, Pastor Donatus, go ahead, please.
What about the woman who is pregnant and is always eating stone?
Eating
There's this
stone?
particular hand that we built in
stone.
a house beside the building, and there's another one they sell in the market.
Okay, okay.
Does it have any effect to the baby? Because when my wife is pregnant, that is why I love eating.
All right, I get it. Okay, you heard that. Women eat a number of crazy things during pregnancy. You heard what Pastor Donatus just said. The woman likes to eat, you know, is this clay-like stuff. Sometimes it's whitish. They sell in the market. I think there was a time I had cravings for that too. Way back in Lagos, we call it calabash or calabar or something. Then in Edo here, we call it echo. Is whitish. You know, you have this.
Is it locally prepared?
No, it's not even food.
Okay.
It's not food. It's like chalk. It's like sand.
Okay.
The one, I think there's one that has sand in it. Then this mud, you know, this mud house. There's a way. I don't know how that thing, how we get attracted to it, but I didn't do
anything that's not
abnormal,
and anything that you don't see nutritional fact
can it
there.
affect the child?
Anything that you don't see nutritional fact there, because any product you go to market and buy, they will tell you what that product contains. So when you are taking it, because you have to be careful of that child. It's a major, you are not the only one now.
All of the, no, what I'm trying to say, you're not getting me. There's this thing that women crave for. It's like chalk.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's I'm just trying to tell you now.
Okay.
That anything you are putting into your mouth does not have prescription, does not have fact there, or does not have nutritional claim there. You don't take it when you are pregnant. You are not the only one. You care for that child. There's nutritional requirement of that child to grow well. This child is growing inside you. Whatever you eat, that child take from it. If you eat bad thing, that child take too. That's why you see some pregnant women actually deliver with deformity. It's happening everywhere. Don't say probably because you are crazy for something, you are so addicted, you like something, you want to take something, and then you don't care about the baby you are carrying.
Okay.
It's uncalled for.
Okay. All right, we're still on the program Healthy Living on ITV. 0522905573 is the number. Give us a call, ask any question as far as this topic is concerned. Hello, caller, good afternoon. Hello? Hello? Okay, I think we lost that call. 0522905573. Now, Benga, what is the ideal breakfast for a child who, now we're going to do it two ways. Ideal breakfast for a normal child who is not obese. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, please tell us your name.
My name is Rachel.
All right, Rachel, go ahead with your question.
I don't know if you...
Rachel, what did you say?
Hello?
I'm hearing you.
If you are pregnant, is it good to eat fruit or vegetable or draw soup?
If it's advisable to eat vegetable or draw soup when you're pregnant?
Yes, and fruit and vegetable.
Okay. So, Benga, you
yes,
heard that?
it's not bad.
It's not bad.
But please, you need to go to hospital and monitor your weight.
Okay.
Probably the previous pregnancy, if you had issue before,
okay,
you need to be careful. of the present one.
So every pregnancy is not the same.
It's not the same. So you have to go back to hospital. Probably you have registered somewhere. You need to be monitored, and they let them monitor your weight. And if your weight is not normal, your doctor knows the appropriate place to send you to.
Okay, so tell me, what's the ideal breakfast for a child who is obese, and then a child who is normal weight?
Now, there are 3 things we need to consider to treat or to manage an obese child.
Okay.
What does that mean? We should make sure. Now, I was saying something about the input and output of the time. I was trying to tell us at home that the activity your child, your child needs to be seriously involved
active
in activities.
Okay.
It needs to be active.
Okay.
Now, healthy food is another thing. Healthy nutrition. The third thing is you must make sure that your child is not the one that eats anything that just comes our way.
Okay, not a child with gluttonous attitude.
That I'm talking of now, eating habits.
Okay.
You know, I've talked about activities. I talk about healthy food and habits.
Yes.
So now these 3 things need to be put in consideration when you are trying to manage your child with obesity.
Okay.
Now, what are the food that probably, let's assume that family, they are not that buoyant.
Okay, let's just say middle class, average family, average Nigerian family.
And then there's probably in that family, they go to school, and then you're trying to prepare food for them to school.
Sure.
Normally, you are trying to give them a very simple breakfast that will not take time, because you need to rush down to your work too. Now, you have bread at home. You can give them bread. But anytime you are giving them bread, don't make that bread an egg with fried egg. Make that egg sauce.
Okay.
What I mean by egg sauce, you don't fry that egg, you make stew and have egg inside it and cook it together.
Okay.
Give them tea. And make sure that in school you ask questions that this my child is normally involved in activity, maybe when they do physical education, when they run around, they are playing football and everything. How active he is in school. Okay. You ask questions. Because something we notice in children when they have complication or they have health challenge or clinical issue, you see them that their behavioral changed. They are not so friendly with others like that, because they have changed now. They are just like, let me just be moody and just be separate and everything.
They are
so
usually
you
on their own.
On their own. You notice when you see a child like that, you notice that. So giving them food in the morning, you have yam in the morning too.
I want to pause you there now. Hello, caller. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay, please tell us your name and ask your question. The audio level on your TV is too loud.
Okay. Faith, I want to ask. I noticed that when I give birth to my children during a school feed, they are normally big, like very big. You can't even carry them. But immediately they cross 6 months, they like lost weight. I want to know why.
Okay.
So immediately.
Okay, Faith says that when she gives birth, they're usually very big. But the moment they cross 6 months, they reduce in weight.
That, I will just say something about them. I said, if the pattern, the way she was giving their food actually changed, positively changed. Positively changed. Positively changed, that child will come down. It means that what she was eating when she pregnant, that actually was the outcome of that baby. Do you understand now? But maybe she was eating everything. Now, after giving birth, probably to continue in that way, it actually come that, okay, I don't have money to be buying, take my child to, buy ice cream, buy this, buy that. It's only when she was pregnant, she was taking a lot of things that would make that child big and everything. But immediately that, she gave birth to that child. And then that child doesn't take anything that will contribute to accumulation of the fat and everything. So that child will come down.
Okay, back to the ideal breakfast for a child who is
obese. I just mentioned of bread. Yam is there too. You prepare yam. Prepare in a very soft way and give them with that egg sauce too. Don't fry egg for them.
So fried egg is not good for children who are obese.
Don't fry for them. But don't fry for them. And sometimes you might give them that stew and I mean vegetable sauce with that yam. Not only that, prepare rice for them. When you are preparing that rice for them, trying to calculate, okay, this child is, I want him to be active now. You try to like, might just assume that, okay, this amount of activity that this child actually does when he or she gets to school. And you try to calculate it. And you make sure that you prepare your food, you give according to the activities, according to the level of the activity of that child in the school. So you calculate those things. It goes well because you are giving food that's not actually have retention, that's not actually have accumulation. You are just giving exact food that that child needs. So that would actually help you to manage that child, because the accumulated one before now, you are not adding to it, and that child is doing activities, is working. Something actually help a family. Now before, this madam used to like use the house maid to do all the work, with the ironing clothes, cooking and everything. Then when she complained, I was like, oh, you need to involve this young boy.
Okay, let's do this. Hello, caller.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please tell us your name and ask your question. Sorry, what's the name?
Sherry from Iowa.
Sherry from Iowa. All right, go ahead, Sherry.
Please, I want to ask this question. I'm having a baby. It's just about a year and 3 months now, and it's weighing more than 12 kg.
A year and 3 months. Okay, a year and 3 months, and it weighs more than 12 kg.
That's too high.
Okay.
Yes, up to 12 kg.
Yes. Okay, you want to know what's up, yeah?
Yeah, I want to know that with that's why it's too much for a baby.
Okay. Benga. Baby is a year plus.
Yes,
and
I was trying to say something the right time. I was trying to explain how to manage obesity.
Yes.
And I was talking about majorly activities, like I said. Then I was telling about, I was giving a scenario of a particular mother.
Yes.
Then I've told that mother, like, instead of using your maid to do everything, why can't you just involve this young boy
child.
and trying to help you do a lot of things? Say, how? I cannot ask him to be running and everything. I said, it's not about running. Okay, anytime you want to iron that clothes, make sure you iron that clothes yourself, and then pack that clothes inside the room. All the clothes you want to iron, let it be inside your room. Maybe the place you are ironing is your sitting room. Ask Charger to go and be bringing those clothes one by one. As your ironing won't finish, ask him to return it back and bring another one. And he was doing that. And for me, 2 months, when I saw that child, I was afraid. I was like, wow. The man was just thanking me.
Okay, how about this woman who is talking about her baby who is just a year plus?
A year plus.
And 12 kg.
Yes, of course, just a year plus. Maybe the breastfeeding is most important something. If that child is 100% breastfed, it will help.
It will help.
It will help. I'm not talking of mother that actually mix everything together.
Sometimes we do.
We need to ask that question too. Maybe during
if it's exclusive
breastfeeding.
If she did that, it will help the child.
It will help the child.
But if she didn't do that,
if they didn't do that,
may not help the
it will
child.
not help. So these are the pains that.
So what's she supposed to do about the child's weight?
Now about the child now, you know, like that child is taking complementary food now.
Yes.
It's giving complementary food. What type of complementary food that this mother is giving?
Okay.
We need to ask that question too. Is it manufactured own? Is it locally made own? Which one? We need to ask that question.
Okay.
So because if you want to manage someone now, I need to take the diet history. What and what do you normally give to the child? You know, you are giving complementary food now. What are the food you are giving? Is it the food that actually, complement the breast milk that you are giving? We consider that. Because majorly we are thinking of oligosaccharide that have prebiotics and the biotics and prebiotics and the postbiotics. And microbacter. Is this one helping this child to use all the nutrients that you are giving? Because if that breast milk is not giving, forget the formulation of the immune system might not properly formulate. So these are the things we are looking at. People just think the child food, and that's enough. That's not enough.
Hello, good afternoon. Benga, hold on. Let's take this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please tell us your name and ask your question.
I want to ask, I heard the doctor saying that the food that maybe probably when the mother is pregnant, the food that the children is eating, maybe the mother is eating then is not longer the food that the children is not eating. So can they eat at the earlier age?
I don't get your question well. That when a woman is pregnant, she eats. Hello?
No, the doctor was making a reference to maybe the mother is pregnant, what she was eating for that
Okay.
baby to speak. And
Okay.
maybe now the children are no longer eating that. And in their little age, can they eat what the mother is eating?
Okay. Okay, I get you.
What makes a child of about 9 days immunity at home? What is the cause?
Okay. So he asked 2 questions in one. That
Okay.
first, you got the first one.
I think
Okay, first that while you were talking, you mentioned that whatever the mother eats affects the child.
Yes.
He said, okay, after birth, now, what would the woman be feeding the child? Should the food now change
okay.
to make the child healthy? That's one. Then the second one is that what would make a 9-year-old child still bedwet?
Okay. The first thing that person should do, go to the hospital.
Okay.
We're just talking about the complication now. If the child is obese,
Obese.
then frequent urination, bedwetting could actually be that there is
sign
excess
of,
glucose
sugar. Okay.
in the blood. So that child needs to be, like examined very well, medically examined. So you know that, okay, this child is fine, it's okay. If there's something else, if as a result of hormone or whatever it is, so when you get to hospital and then they will decide that.
Okay.
So based on, okay, what mother eats affect the child, because that's the first question that he asked, right? Yes, it affects. You know that immediately you give birth to a child,
Yeah.
breast milk is important for good 6 months.
Okay.
For good 6 months. For good 6 months, you must give that. So when you are giving complementary food, then you not talk of what are the healthy complementary food that we need to complement this breast, because the reason why you are giving that complementary food is that child is now growing now. The breast milk is not enough to take care of that child again. So you need to give complementary food. So when you are giving complementary food, it could be locally food, but in a very healthy one. The one you come back that will give exact then oligosaccharide that need to be helping that breast milk you are giving. So not just like, okay, but some people used to give ordinary pap, and they will force that child to give that pap. That pap without nothing. That one is not enough. Some people like they match yam and red oil together and they give a lot of things, different things. So later when you see that child coming up with malnutrition and a lot of things, you say, oh, what happened? Or you are eating apple, you started giving that child apple too. You are eating eba, you started giving that child eba too. Without the right process, without the right combination. Remember, this child is not the digestive system is not well developed. The anything you are giving out to be in a very soft form.
Okay.
You have to prepare it this way that will help that child. That will not cause problem to that child.
Okay. Hello, caller. Good afternoon.
Hello, ma, please, I want to get the doctor's number.
Okay. Just wait till the end of the program, please.
Okay, thank you, ma. I really want to
Okay, you will be helped. That's why we're here. All right, 0522905573 is the number. We didn't finish the ideal breakfast where you talked about.
Yes, a lot of questions.
Yes,
children now,
so
they're just the glory of tomorrow.
Yes.
Because I used to be passionate when I'm talking about them. Because the way you train them now, something about children. Whatever you put, it's just like computer. Whatever you put in there
is what you bring up.
I'm telling you, that thing will be there for life. Even when they now an adult, they get married and everything, the training is there. I read a book, and that book was telling me that if you want to marry someone and then you want to know exactly how that person will behave, go and study the father first.
Okay.
You know the way the father be, that exactly that boy will be. The same thing. A girl or a lady, you want to know how that lady will behave when she gets to your house, go and study the mother first. You will know exactly the makeup or everything, what's made up of that lady. You will know exactly about the homekeeping, food, food presentation, food preparation, the way mother prepare food at home, the same way that young lady will prepare food when she gets married. These are the things. We have to train them. Everybody you need to take care of your family. You can't afford to go to hospital. You know what the country is talking about now. You know how country is now.
Yes.
To avoid medical bill now is a problem. So you need to take care of your family. You have menu plan for your family, and then everybody in the family know that this is what we are eating Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. No change, know that mommy, this is what I want to eat. No, I'm trying to take care of all of you.
Okay.
You tell them the implication.
So what about snacks in between after breakfast? You know, some children want to take snacks.
Yes, in menu planning.
Yes.
In menu planning, you have
Space
allowance
for
those
okay.
things. So when you are planning, even though you have space for activities, you must calculate the activity we do and the food they will eat.
Okay.
In fact, when they used to eat, you will see that you hardly have the issue or the cases of malaria in the family. If someone says, okay, mommy, I'm having a headache, maybe he has no eating. Immediately you give him half food,
so
it's fine.
So how many times should a child who is obese eat in a day?
In fact, you have to eat 3 times, and even eat in between. There's no substitute.
So a child who is obese,
everybody will eat 3 times a day.
Okay.
Minimum.
3 times a day.
Yes, minimum.
Okay.
That's not like, okay, let me give him twice or something. No, that's not like that.
Because the child is obese.
Yes.
The child
what we are trying to work on is feeding interval, and the frequency, and the quantity.
Okay.
Do you understand now?
Okay.
And then we calculate the activity level of that child. That's all. Okay. It's fine.
Okay. So it's not to place that child on a
no. You don't
diet.
need that. You don't need that. All the food that child is taking out, even though you even aware that this woman will give me tomorrow morning. Or she prepare for it. And you know that when it is time, okay, mommy will give me snack to take now.
Okay.
And he was waiting.
Yes, and everything will be fine.
And they know that, okay, when time reach, I need to go and work now. Maybe I'm the one that will shift, the one that will clean the house, sweep the house, wash the plate and everything. He knows, she knows.
So it's not punishment.
It's not punishment, he already know.
Okay.
It's the way of training her to be responsible.
All right, Mr. Gbenga, from all you have said, you've talked about causes of obesity in children, and we talked about the parents' factor, very important. Parents are #1 cause of childhood obesity. And then the genetics factor, junk food, aggressive marketing, addiction, eating habits, and then some medication. Sedentary life are some of those things that may cause obesity for your children. And in the course of all of that, you said we should develop healthy eating habits, from what I jotted down.
Yes, of course.
And then provide plenty of vegetables, fruits, and whole grain products, not junk food. Then, from what you said, I gathered that even if we're going to give children dairy product, it must be the one with low fat.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to, like, okay, what I'm trying to calculate now is, it's not about the giving.
Yes.
Because even though there is no have the amount of fiber you must give them.
Yes.
Not that probably you now bombard them with vegetable and vegetable and vegetable and vegetable.
Okay, but you just have
they have the food they are eating.
Okay.
And what I'm saying, the combination and the way that food goes.
Okay.
The strength of that food, morning, afternoon, evening.
Okay.
And then amount of activity they do. It actually matter most. Not about the food, because all the macronutrient and micronutrient, they need it. The essential one. Okay. They need it, and then you must combine everything together. You must make sure that everything is in their food. So not by segregating, not by like, okay, let me just give one and leave one.
And leave the other. All right, you can call this number 0802 119900. 0802 okay, 08062. I'm missing that 6 out. 08062 119900. Please call that number to continue with the program, because we are done as it stands now. Thank you, Gbenga, for finding time to be with us on the program. And for those of you who have this problem, it's not a death sentence, okay? Seek the help of professionals, and you will be happy you did. We'll see you again on Monday. Bye-bye.